Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the StarCast. And we have a returning star on the show today. It is Adam from MUSC New South Wales, and he's sort of obviously a diehard fan. He's woken up at 6 a.m. Australian time to record this for us. So thanks, Adam, for coming along, and we've Priyan with us, of course. So Adam, let me throw you the tough question straight
No
away.
problem.
So Adam, early in the morning, who is the best player in the Premier League of the season up till now?
Well, we have to say Bruno, don't we? He's one of our men, and he's taking us to the top, and he's really changed things for us, hasn't he? And since January, last season now, so or January this year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Only a few days to go. But yeah, he's really taken us to a different level, and you can see everyone's fighting to stay around him and trying to lift to his level. So it's really, really exciting to see what Bruno's got for the future for Manchester United.
So Adam,
It's really exciting.
You've anticipated my question. Who's going to come a little later? Who's been the most underrated player? You've already said it's Fred. So I don't think I'll have
accidentally.
I'll have to ask that. But Priyan, let me throw some stats at you. Right, Bruno Fernandes, 10 goals, right? 10 goals and 6 assists. That's 16 goal involvements. Now, the Man City fans especially have been saying that, he's nowhere close to Kevin De Bruyne, and, this debate is non-existent almost. So what do you make of that? Is it non-existent? Because let's face it, Kevin De Bruyne is a fantastic player. But do you think other fans are sort of underselling Bruno Fernandes and his impact? Because single-handedly, this man has rallied an entire team.
Yeah.
Look, I'm sorry. No, you go for it.
The thing about De Bruyne is that he's been doing this for 4 or 5 seasons now, and he's been consistent. And Bruno has been here for 1 year, not a complete season also. He's been phenomenal for us. He's changed our squad. We can't imagine a United team without his creativity as of now. He seems to be a player who's been playing with us for 5-6 seasons. But that's the thing. It's he has to be consistent now. He has to make sure he gets those numbers. He churns the numbers continuously for as long as he's part of the club. De Bruyne has been doing that. He's been phenomenal. He's got the league titles. So I think that's where he still edges it for me. But based on the current form, Bruno is far better.
Yeah, Adam, you were saying.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, look, you got De Bruyne's now 29, and I think Bruno's 26. He's got 3 years to catch up to him, and he's already doing a phenomenal job. De Bruyne doesn't probably turn over the ball as much as Bruno, but far out, man, what an impact a player can make, and usually it takes a little while for, players to settle into the Premier League, and, probably Eric Cantona was the last person to come in and make an impact like Bruno has, and as a Man United fan, it's so great to see, and, the future's bright for our club, and I just hope everyone backs the player, backs the manager, and as you know, I'm always there for players and managers, and it's really exciting times to see our club back at a high level.
Yeah. So Adam, I think you mentioned another player. I think if I got it right, you said Harry Kane. So that's the other player we sort of need to consider here, because Harry Kane has got 19 goal involvements. He's got 10 assists and 9 goals. He's been absolutely flying, and he's been phenomenal. So Bruno is only second to Kane. He's got 16. What is interesting is that Bruno has got more goals than Kane, and Kane's got more assists than Bruno, while it should be the other way around. So, Adam, what do you think? Has Kane got it so up till now in the season? Do you think Kane has been better than Bruno? Because for their respective sides, if you take either of them out, they both slump. Both Spurs and United.
Yeah, well, that's it. Well, Tottenham started slow, didn't they? And then they've gone through a really good period, and now they're back on their heels a little bit again now. So it'll be a good test for Kane, but once again, Bruno's had to do it tough with the players around him, and as far as I'm concerned, Tottenham probably got a bit better players than us at the moment, and while he's building a nice team there, and I think Bruno's had to do it harder. So you got to say Bruno's probably the best player in the league, without a doubt.
Right. I would go along with that, because I think that it's about time that other teams start I mean, I think it's been a very long period of time since we've had someone of the quality of Bruno Fernandes that we can call that he's the best player in the league. I mean, coincidentally, I'm wearing this jersey today. I mean, the last time I think we could say that was when Robin van Persie was at Manchester United, that he was the best player in the league and
Yeah.
he was at our club. And I think since then we've not had that. And Bruno is in the conversation. You could even argue that we've not had a player who's even in the conversation to be the best player in the league. Chelsea have had Hazard, they've had Diego Costa for a while, Liverpool have had Suarez, Gerrard. You know, these guys obviously a little bit later. They've had Mo Salah and Sadio Mane. Spurs have Kane and Son. City have a plethora of stars that they've obviously purchased from all over the world. So there are a lot of players out there. But Priyan, do you see that? Would you agree with Adam and me that Bruno is the best player of this sort of season at least, or since he's come in the Premier League even?
Yeah, definitely. And as per numbers go, he's definitely up there. He's definitely among the top. And I think you said it right. He's not. He's still not given the credit that he deserves. He's been phenomenal, and like Adam mentioned before, it generally takes some time for a player to come into the Premier League and settle into the fast-paced life here. But he did it so seamlessly. Like it's like the Premier League was his calling, and he's come here and he's proven that he's a quality player.
Yeah. The other thing is people keep saying he's a penalty merchant, right? But Kevin De Bruyne has scored only 2 goals this season and both have come from penalties. If you take Bruno's penalty goals away, he's yet scored 3 times the goals De Bruyne has scored, which are from penalties, even from open play. So I think this argument that he's a penalty merchant is very unfair. And if you're a Fulham fan or even if you're a Man City fan, you would realize that scoring penalties doesn't come easy, right? So I mean, I think Bruno Fernandes, for me, for Adam, for Priyan, I think we've agreed he is the best player in the league right now. So, Adam, the second sort of question that will wake you up is Frank Lampard going to be sacked by December? Let me lay out some facts. It might sound absurd because people got onto this bandwagon that, oh, Frank Lampard's Chelsea is really onto something and they're doing really well. But let me lay out some facts. They've spent £250 million. They haven't beaten a single team in the top 10 in this year's table. They haven't beaten one team that's in the top 10. They sit currently in seventh or eighth, depending on what the Spurs game is. We're shooting this before that. So they probably will sit on eighth. So is Frank Lampard going to get the sack? How much patience will Roman Abramovich show an owner who's known to go through managers the way we go through clothes?
Yeah, I don't think he's going to get the sack. I think if you have a look at him, what before they lost on the weekend, I think they were third. We were third. I think they were fourth, and then they jumped down to seventh. I think I looked just before. There's literally 7 points between ninth and first. So the title race is so tight, and it hasn't been like that for a long, long time. And no, I don't think he'll get the sack. I think they just need. He's still got some great players there, and they just need to turn. Every team goes through a slump, and as you all know, at Christmas time, a lot of teams do struggle through the winter period, and no, I don't think he'll get the sack. I think he's a good manager, and if there was, everyone talks about Ollie getting the sack, and and he went through a harder time. The biggest part that annoys me is, and being that we're the greatest club in the world, we do cop the media so hard, and you don't hear nothing. You don't hear nothing about we're actually making up this conversation to tie things over and to make it very good for us. But you don't hear that in the media. Like you didn't hear they just lost to Arsenal 3-1, and the next media coverage isn't about Frank Lampard getting the sack. But if we had a lost on the weekend to Leicester City, next thing everyone's talking about us going, we're not in the title race. It was just, a run of fortune. We've now gone, I think it's 9 games unbeaten,
Yeah.
And there's still no title in the Daily Mail or something like that going, I don't even think, I think it's only been, we get it on Optus here and Sky. You do hear them say little bits, yes, United are in the title race, but it's no big hype about it, is there?
Yeah.
Everton's jumped into second, and
So, Adam,
it's
actually,
just
you've
part
led
of being
me.
a massive fan.
So, Adam, the fact that I've brought this question up is for a simple point that you've led me to it, which I'm going to throw to Priyan now. is if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had gone through the phase that Lampard is going through, had he not beaten a top 10 team, the media would be out for his head. I mean, they would have absolutely decimated him. So what is
Yeah.
it? So what is the reason? I mean, yes, Frank Lampard, we know what is the reason why Lampard doesn't get sort of this sort of criticism that he deserves. You cannot. You've not won against the top 10 team in the entire season after spending 260 million. You've lost to Arsenal 3-1. We lost 1-0 to Arsenal, and apparently it was an Arteta masterclass. So this for this performance alone, Arteta should be given the best coaches award for the year next year. He's won 3-1 against Chelsea. So Priyan, what do you make of this? What is this bias against Manchester United or against Ole Gunnar Solskjaer that the media have?
Ashram, you asked me if Oli had to do perform as badly as Lampard. I don't think. I mean, Oli's been given worse for performing much better than what Lampard has done. It's really unfair. Just coming back to the Lampard point, I saw the Arsenal game yesterday, and I don't see any strategy. I don't see any tactics. All I see is the individual brilliance of the players on the field, and that is the only that those are the only type of goals that Chelsea score have scored this season. Defensively, they're a bit okay. They're a little shaky, but I think Thiago Silva helps them out there. But otherwise, their only way of scoring a goal is either Pulisic making a good hazy run into the box, or Reece James putting in a cross and somebody getting on the end of it. And I don't see them scoring any other way. And I think and Lampard has to be blamed for that, because he spent 250 million, like you said, and he's bought in a player for every position almost. He's gotten a Havertz, he's gotten a Werner, he's gotten a Ziyech, um, a Chilwell, Thiago Silva, Eduardo Mendy. I mean, you can just and none of these players are squad players. All of these are uh, the playing 11, the first team players. So you have to blame him here. And coming to the point of him getting sacked, I don't think he's going to get sacked at least until the end of the season. Uh, I honestly, I feel anything other than a top two for Chelsea with the money they spent and the squad they have is horrible. But uh, if it's not a top four finish, he's definitely getting sacked.
Right. So my opinion is a little different. I mean, in our season preview, I'd call that Lampard will be the first manager to get sacked. I think he's on course to get sacked. We're talking about Roman Ibrahimovic here. This man is the most impatient owner there is. He wants to win at any cost. So at least that's my view. But Adam, let's look at the other side. Arsenal were playing Chelsea. What about Mikel Arteta? Do you think Mikel Arteta will get to the end of the season this year, or do you think even he is going to be shown the door come January?
Well, there seems to be a tradition of players managing at the moment. So it's a hard school. Like for an older supporter for United and looking at the Premier League on a whole, I don't think managers need to be sacked as easily as they have been, and I think it's a bad look on the Premier League as well. But given the results, yeah, he may go on a run now and he might win 3 or 4 games in a row. So everything that's happened just prior to that is all wiped under the carpet. So it's as us as fans of the Premier League, um, to say that he might get sacked and Lampard as well, I don't know. Look, I don't care anyone gets sacked as long as Ollie doesn't. So it's tough as United supporters, and as you know, we just cop it no matter what. So look, given that it was you got to admit it was a pretty shock result. 3-1. Get it? Yeah, it's a tough one. Look, I think he'll hold his job. Maybe by the end of the year, if he's still in that relegation battle, 100% he's going to go. That's for any manager. Every club wants to keep their side into the Premier League. So, and you've seen it plenty of times. 10 games out, 10 games from the finish, managers getting sacked just to stay in. So, but I think for the time being that he's fine.
Right. So now talking about managers, let's talk about the best manager in the Premier League in my view. I think there's only one man after the result today. I think it's Big Sam. He's pulled off a draw at Liverpool, 1-1. A typical Big Sam
Yeah.
performance, a completely useless park the bus, try to nick a goal, stay in the game for as long as you can. He does this with every team he goes to, and he's pulled off a 1-all result. Well, while that is done, that means that if we win our game in hand, we're just 2 points off Liverpool. We
One point.
play them 2 points off Liverpool since we drew to Leicester. So when we play them, that game could potentially push us above Liverpool. So Adam, yes, I'm wearing this jersey. This is the one we won the last title in. 21 and 21, people are talking about it. But Victor Lindelof has now, the news has just come out, he's injured for 8 weeks. Now who starts as our centre back with Harry Maguire? Do you think Eric Bailly can have a run, Twanzebe, or Phil Jones is back in Jan? Do you see him coming in?
It just cut out for a second. Did you say Lindelof is out for 8 weeks?
Yes, Lindelof is out for 8 weeks, so we need a new partner for
Oh,
Harry Maguire.
yeah. Well, you got to play Bailey in there, Eric Bailly in there, don't you? So I think he's up to it. It's just that loose challenge that he throws in, and this might be his time. Might be his time. You always see players step up when I think Lindelof's having a pretty good season. I did hear from and read from a few people on the weekend that they didn't believe Lindelof played that well. I thought he was pretty good. I thought James was pretty poor, to be honest with you. But yeah, I think it's going to be good. And Liverpool. I don't know if you guys know, but Liverpool have never played against Bruno, so it's a mouth-watering tie. So I cannot wait for that clash because I've got a lot of Liverpool mates, and mate, I can't wait till we beat them.
I mean, I think we're licking our lips as to if we can beat them, and when we do beat them, the banter that's going to come out, I think it's going to be fantastic. And if Bruno Fernandes can put his performance, I think it's going to be a phenomenal prospect.
Yeah, look, it's going to be fantastic. It's a mouth-watering battle. Just I think it's the 18th of January. It's on. It's our next. Is it our next Premier League clash? Because we've got a cup game in a couple of days, and yeah, it can't come quick enough. To be honest, to be honest with you, with that kind of game and the game that we just drew against Leicester, even though I thought Ollie tactically got it right, I thought he did really well because we did have chances, and you got to put it down to the players not finishing. I would have liked to have seen when we got to 2-1, even though I don't like when we go defensive. I just thought that was the game for it. I just thought that was the game when Bruno scored. Maybe we do need to sit back a little bit here instead of going for it. The team could have been a little bit more compact. And I don't think Tuanzebe and Bailey would have been ball watching on that last goal. I think we could have been a lot more compact with say 10 or as soon as Bruno scored, and just have a look at it for a 5-minute period. And I thought that could have been a way Ollie could have just sewed it up for us, those 3 points, because wouldn't it have been nice to have just seen us get 3 points against Leicester?
Yeah.
Would have been lovely.
Yeah, Priyam, but just coming back to the Lindelof point, because as Adam said, Twanzebe and Bailly were ball watching. Now, that is the tendency that Bailly has had. We've seen that over the years, that he's not focused enough. He's not into the game enough. In a 90-minute period, Bailly almost often loses it at times. He makes the rash challenge or he gets injured. So how much of a loss is Lindelof? Because Lindelof had started becoming better with the ball as well. And in my opinion, I don't think Twanzebe is ready. So how much of a loss will Lindelof be?
I agree. I think Maguire and Lindelof are proving to be a very good partnership for the last 1.5 year now. Um, uh, Lindelof, for the last couple of games, he was pretty solid in the air too. The aerial attacks, he was winning quite a few of them. But yeah, it's going to be a big loss. But again, I think we don't have any other option other than Bailly to come in for Lindelof. I agree with you. I don't think Tuanzebe is ready to put in 90 minutes in the Premier League currently. So Eric Bailly has to come in, and he will come in. But yeah, I mean, he has to keep a check on, that he has those brain fade moments where he goes in and he lunges into a tackle, or he'll do a step over in the box. Uh, it's a heart in your mouth moments, and those have to be avoided. Otherwise, I think buy will not be too bad.
Right, right. So, Adam, this leads me to the next question is that we have a Manchester City game coming up on the 4th of January, which is the semi final of the EFL Cup. And then we play Watford, I think, on the 7th of January, which is the first round that we take part in the FA Cup. So, now with Lindelof gone, how do you approach these games? Because Lindelof clearly leaves a big hole because Bailly is so fragile, he's so brittle that you never know when he's going to break down. So, how do you approach these games? Do you go all out in that City game because it's just one game away from the final? Or do you take a cautious approach and just keep all the eggs in the Premier League basket?
Yeah, I was just reading here now. We've got Wolves on December 30. Is that well December 30 here? Is
Yeah,
that must be that's in my
29.
calendar. So that's in sorry.
Yeah, that's 29 December
Yeah,
for.
December 3rd. Yeah. So yeah, well, I'm just watching Wolves now. They're playing Spurs right now. So and Tottenham scored in the first minute of the game. So um, but yeah, so look, United need to keep playing, and Ollie's going to have to rotate his players again. And I think we're playing really well. I just, it's just those chances. We need to take those chances. Like we take 3 points in that game, against Leicester, takes which we didn't. But again, it was us finishing our chances. And ball watching, like they're big in the big scheme of things, but they're little things to fix. You know what I mean? Like Rashford, he should have really chested that down. He'll have a look at that in between games, and they'll also have a look defensively as well. Everyone's been caught out looking to the ball, and so they're these little things that. And I still remember Liverpool going through these things. And I think that's a massive problem with our fans as well. We want so much so quick, and
But
it
Adam,
is good.
having said that, how would you approach the EFL Cup game against Man City? Would you go all out in that game, or would you reserve a?
Oh, yeah, 100%. We've got to go all out in that game. Yeah, 100%. Go all out. Ollie needs a trophy for sure. And I'd like Tom, one of our podcasters, say, he said, wouldn't it be nice to see Ollie holding a trophy after he's had his time here? You got Arteta, he's lifted the FA Cup, so he'll be remembered for that. Every other manager that's come into United over the last few years have all had a trophy. So 100%, go all out. City's going to do it. They've won it, last 2 years or last 3 years?
3 years, yeah.
So they go for it. So why shouldn't we? We're not in the Champions League, so we're in the Europa. We've got nothing to lose. Just go for it, 100%. And silverware is everything. So
Yeah. Priyan, do you agree with that? Because potentially we've got. So, in my view, City is not the toughest team in the competition at the moment. City look like they're for the taking. But Pep Guardiola has won this trophy three in a row, as Adam said. And Jose Mourinho absolutely loves this trophy. I mean, if you ask him which trophy he'd win, he'd probably say the EFL Cup. He just absolutely loves winning this trophy. So, we have some sort of difficult teams, but we are just 2 games away from winning this trophy. Is this our best chance at winning a trophy this season?
I think you have to take the chance. All he needs a trophy. He really needs it. Uh, and I agree with Adam. You have to go 100%, and you have to get the win. You have to go all in against City. And he needs the trophy. It's as simple as that.
Right, right. So, Adam, do you think then we have the squad depth in our team to actually sustain this title challenge that people have been talking about, to then go out and win the EFL Cup, to keep, and then what do you do with Europa? So, do you think the squad depth is there, and then what do you do with Europa?
that is a tough question. That is a tough question. I don't think we've got the squad depth, to be honest with you. But I really do think we can really give it a good nudge, these competitions. I don't believe, I do believe sort of that we can win Europa. But yeah, look, we're still looking for that 1 and 2 players, aren't we? And it's hard to see I don't think James is going to come start for us much anymore. So it's hard to bring him off the bench. You know, he's probably a little impact player. Um, Matic is getting on a bit. You know, you saw a couple of games ago that he was um, he was just that link up with the backs. You know, I don't believe we've got the depth. I think we're in January again. We need to buy again, and Ollie does buy well. So I'm excited for January. Let's just pray our owners give him some money to buy someone.
Right. So Priyan, my problem with the squad depth is that I feel our midfield. I mean, people keep saying, "Oh, look at the bench. How many players are there?" I feel like our midfield is now overloaded. We have a lot of options in the midfield, but the position that we haven't solved since Cristiano Ronaldo left, the right wing. I mean, we see Dan James playing there. Mason Greenwood. He's not a right winger. You can't keep shoving him onto the right and expect him to
Yeah.
perform week in week out. So how? Like, why do people? So do you think that we've sort of bought good players in, but we yet don't buy players for the positions we need. And my fear is that this is somewhat going down the Arsenal route, that the board does not understand that we need the players in certain positions. It doesn't help to go and buy players in positions you already have. We needed a center defensive mid. We went out and bought Donny van der Beek. He's not a center defensive mid. We need a right winger. We didn't buy that. Yes, Cavani, we needed a striker. He's come in and he's paid off. So you can clearly see that a position that was weak, that is Cavani, he comes in and he does well. Maguire, he comes in and he's clearly improved the team, whatever people want to say. So how do we tackle that? Because who do you potentially see playing on that right hand side? Should Mata be given more game time, or Van der Beek tried on the right maybe?
Uh, that's it's I don't know. I mean, it's a very tricky thing because um, you're right. You know, we haven't strengthened the positions that we need to all the time. Uh, I mean, Van de Beek, I get. I mean, he was great for Ajax, but he wasn't the player that we needed as such to go out and spend 40 million on. I still think he's a great buy and he's a great player to have in the squad, but maybe not now. Uh, Come January, I think a priority should be a centre back. We need. I don't think we have the depth in the centre back role. Uh, and the right wing, as you said, I don't think that should be a January signing. I think we're doing okay as of now for maybe Greenwood or James to come in, but we're probably going for a Jadon Sancho when the summer comes. So I don't think we'll be strengthening our right wing anytime in
Right.
Jan.
So, Adam, this is the last podcast of the year 2020. Apart from Bruno Fernandes, what have you been most thankful for as a Manchester United fan in this year? Because don't say Bruno, because everyone's going to say that.
No, I don't think. Look, in my opinion, like in the whole year, Greenwood came along. Like I love that kid, you know, and I think Ollie's managed him really well, as much as the horror show with England. And you know, it was good to see Mason come on and you know, bad goals. You know, I was probably a little disappointed he never got his chance in the last game, being that Martial for me was so poor. Definitely for me, I've been watching Greenwood from afar through MUTV, and I love that kid. He's just going to be something special. And it was good to see Cavani come in and make an impact as well. So
Right.
it's been a really, for me, I've really enjoyed Greenwood, to be honest with you. I love the youth players and I love seeing them come on and do really well.
Right. Priyan, same question for you. What are you most thankful for as a Manchester United fan?
I agree with Adam. I really liked his point. Mason has been phenomenal, but I think we don't give him too much credit. But I would like to highlight Harry Maguire here. Okay, people give him a lot of shit for being slow and not being whatever it is, but he had a good last season, and then whatever happened with him in the summer break, where the entire fiasco in Greece, to come back from that, and we again had a 6-1 defeat against Spurs. We had an opening day defeat, so he's had a very tough start to the season, but he's bounced back, and I'm happy to call him my captain.
Right. I think that's a valid point. I think I'm happy for Fred. I think Fred has improved a lot as a player. I think that's great. And the other thing, I mean, a lot of people sort of think that I'm Ollie out and this and that. But to be honest, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I think he's made me want to watch Man United again. Yes, we're not consistent. Yes, there's a long way to go. But at least I want to watch the team week in, week out. It is entertaining most days. He has a lot of tactical flaws in my view that he yet needs to overcome. But I think he's at least steadied a ship that was sinking very fast under the previous two managers. And there is some sort of enjoyment and pleasure you get from watching his Manchester United team go out and play the way they should be playing with some of the comebacks which have been fantastic. But Adam, last thoughts, one final thing. What is your one wish for 2021? What is the one thing you're hoping for? What's the sort of New Year's gift that you want?
The New Year's gift, I want us to just keep rolling on and taking 3 points. To start 2021, I'd love us to beat Liverpool to start, because that would give us a little bit of our life back instead of copping crap off our Liverpool supporters, supporter friends, if you can call them that. I would really love us to beat Liverpool at the start of 2021. I would love that. That would be absolutely brilliant.
Priyan, for you, 2021, what is the one thing you'd want to happen in 2021? Apart from, of course, 21 and 21 that sort of is already brewing, but apart from that, what would you love to happen?
I think Jack Grealish. I really want to see him as a United player. I really love him. He's just a phenomenal player in the Premier League, and I would love to see him in a United shirt.
Right. So I'm going to get a little greedy. I want Jack Grealish. I want us to beat Liverpool. I want 21 and 21. I want a right winger. And the most important thing, the fifth thing that I want, I think is the most important thing. I hope that, the situation we're in passes soon and fans are back in the stadium. I think that will be an incredible thing. Football will return to normalcy, and I think that will be fantastic to watch. I think that will give United a lift as well, the way we're playing right now. So let's hope that happens as well. Fingers crossed. So that's it, guys. That's the last StarCast for the year. Thanks for tuning in. Adam, thanks for coming along so early in the day.
Pleasure. I love it.
Yeah, it's fantastic, the passion. And do give MUSC New South Wales a follow. It's a fantastic page. You get all your match updates there. A lot of updates about youth players, transfers. There's a lot of things going on. Connect with them. They have a great fan base where you can connect with other people as well. Become a part of the wider Manchester United family. This is why we do this, to bring other people on. It's been a fantastic year. You all have been great. So if you're new to the channel, subscribe to it. And let's hope the next year is even better. 21 and 21 happens and we keep going.
Yeah, thanks, guys. It's been an absolute pleasure being part of this podcast. And it's exciting. It's exciting for Man United supporters at the moment. And and I have to agree with you totally. Get out there and support your supporters club, because they're fans like you. And at Man United New South Wales, we try and bring everyone together, especially around the world. For me, 2020 has been an outstanding year to meet new people, and this supporters club really has brought people together, and it's fantastic. We've got a fantastic chairman who. He's trying to get back to Australia at the moment, but he seems to be struggling. And it's great that we've all connected together. So glory, Man United, guys.
Absolutely. And on that note, I take your leave. Thanks, Priyan. Thanks, Adam. And it was great having you, Adam.
Cheers, guys.
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching our video. If you do like it, please click on the thumbs up. And please subscribe to our channel. Click on the bell icon to get daily notifications from the United Star. Follow us on Instagram at the.UnitedStar, and we will see you soon.